Straight from the swamps of southern Louisiana, this is B.S.ing with the guys. A lot of shit going on in the news, crazy shit. Justin, I want to
There it
answer
is.
right now. What are the drones doing besides flying?
It's like Chinese spy balloon type shit, dude. Like they're just scoping it out.
You know, it's funny because I did a TikTok yesterday, and I had mentioned that as one of the theories behind it. Kind of just
Yeah.
joking, but if I mentioned in it that the spy balloon came across the whole entire fucking country, and nothing ever happened. I mean, they eventually shot the thing down once it crossed the entire country, but they did nothing to prevent it. So why would China, whoever, not try it again? You know what I
Right.
mean? And then, of course, I'm scrolling the news sites today, and I come across this. Spy drones from China are likely cause of unexplained aircraft wreaking havoc. So now the government's coming out and saying it.
Ah,
And it's like, well, why are we allowing this? You
yeah.
know, in there, I'm sure there's a lot of answers. It probably goes a lot deeper than we'd ever be able to explain. But it's just so odd that another country can do that kind of shit, and they're
Yeah.
not talking like it's not like it's just 4 or 5 drones. You know,
No.
it's tons of them.
And they're flying over military bases and shit.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what, let's see. We want answers, but the response I'm getting is we don't know whose drones they are. That's terrible right there for one. I was with the NASA administrator, Bill Nelson. He said all these drones have been reported over military sites, military bases. See, how can anybody get into this country and be able to do that? That's crazy.
Right. And it's like, fuck whose drone it is. Shoot that motherfucker out the sky.
Well, and I was listening to something today, and this guy is a retired Navy pilot, and he was one of the fellas that not turned over, but he's actually talked openly about a lot of the cases where the military jets saw UFOs. And I'm saying
Yeah.
UFOs, not meaning they're alien, but it's just something that they didn't know what the fuck it was. And, they were catching these crafts doing all kind of crazy fucking things on the radar that they couldn't explain. You know what I mean? Like basically just, breaking all the physics laws that we know. Well, he was one of the pilots that did that. Well, recently he was saying that the problem is with these drones going across the country is that they're leaving no heat trail, and that's normally how they find these things. They track them through
Yeah.
heat, and they're not putting off any heat, which is odd as fuck because they're staying in the air for hours upon hours. So something has to be driving these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, physics alone would tell you, I mean, you've got to be creating energy to fly these. Well, energy is going to create heat. There's got to be motors turning
Absolutely.
on them.
Right.
So it makes it even stranger that's according to the government, that's the reason they don't know where these things are, where they're going, because they can't physically track them. That's fucking scary.
Yeah, that's nuts. And like, did you see the guy? He was on TikTok, and I guess he was posting on behalf of his friend. So his friend was out in New Jersey. That's where the drones are, right? Or were.
Well,
That's where they
yeah, we
started.
everywhere, but yeah,
But that's
that's
where they started at. Like that was the
right.
origin point. They were like, "Oh, drones over." Anyway, um, well, his friend he flew his own drone up after like 3 nights of these things being reported. He flies his own drone up there to try to get close to one of these drones, see what the fuck it is.
Right.
Um, One way or another, his drone winds up getting knocked out of the sky. I don't know if it was like local law enforcement sent the drone up and knocked his out of the sky, but anyway, um, I think it was the next day the FBI's knocking on his door and basically arrest this dude and bring him in for questioning. He's got to talk to detectives and shit because he was flying his drone to try to see what these drones were doing. And he's like, why the fuck am I being arrested when these random, nobody knows what the fuck drones are flying around and nobody's doing anything?
Yeah. Like I said, I guess the only reason they can't do anything about them is, like I said, they can't track them according to what they're saying. So I guess it's hard to punish anybody or have any consequences for people when you don't know where the fuck these things are coming. You don't even know where they're at. Hell, at this point, you don't even know what they are. You know,
Yeah, I mean they have lights.
well, they do, but like I said, they're being powered by something that they can't even detect. They don't. It's the craziest shit, man. Because they like I said, they usually track these things by heat. You
Yeah.
know, everything that's moving is putting off heat. You know, if it's got a motor, I mean, I imagine they're battery operated. I mean,
I would
they're
think so.
quiet, but still, I mean, the batteries are lasting for hours upon hours. So, what kind
Yeah.
of technology is this? Is it foreign as far as outer space shit, or is it just something that China or somebody developed that they just don't understand yet, or are they just not telling us all of it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because, like, I get that they can't track it with heat, but, like, people with cameras track it from the ground.
Well,
And they're like,
because
oh,
they
look, it's a
see them.
drone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because they physically see them. But I'm saying that the way that the military and the government's explaining it is they don't know where they're going to pop up. They have no way to follow these things. They're just
Yeah.
going by eyewitness accounts of it, people taking videos and shit, but they can't seem to find them. And then they talk about, well, if they do find them, shoot them down. Well, you don't know where these things are going to fall or where they're going to land. So that would have to be
They
well
are big.
orchestrated. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So, I mean, it could fall on somebody, it falls on somebody's house and they're held liable for that,
Yep.
and that's kind of what this guy was going over. And I forget his name, but like I said, he's an ex-Navy pilot, who's dealt with this kind of shit before. And that's kind of what he was saying, that it's not as cut and dry as just, the government they're just gonna know what these things are,
Yeah.
because they're having problems even tracking them, which is
Yeah.
not good.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
our
I still
government
think they should shoot them down.
well, if they can find them, that's the
Yeah.
thing. But the problem is, I don't think they're getting they're not getting real time news. They're getting videos that people are posting or maybe phone calls. But by the time all that goes down, these things are gone.
Yeah.
So then now I guess they could just send jets, some fighter jets out there in the general area and see.
Yeah. Especially because like they're clearly interested in the military bases. So it's
Oh,
like you're
yeah.
right there. You're
And
right
that's
there. You're
the worst.
literally under it.
That's the worst part. Yeah, that they're flying over and near these bases, and we still, according to them, they still can't track these things. Now, how safe is that? You know what I mean? Somebody can just fly whatever the fuck these things are over and around military bases, and the military is like, we didn't even know they were there. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Now,
That is nuts.
the government is known for withholding information from the public.
Yep.
So maybe they do have a little better grasp on what these things might be, but they sure aren't calming any panic right now,
No.
especially releasing this shit where, now they're saying it could be China again. And I wouldn't doubt it because, like I said, there was no repercussions to that damn balloon that they let fly over the whole damn country.
Right.
And if you're going to pull something, you're going to do it now before this new administration takes over, because that's one thing. Like Trump posted that a few days ago, shoot these damn things down. And I know we sat there and said that they are hard to track, but there's got to be a way. I mean, we have the most powerful military in the world, all the technology you could ask for. And you mean to tell me with hundreds of these things or however many there is flying around, you can't locate any of them?
Not one.
Up? I mean, come on now. Yeah, I do believe they're having a hard time knowing exactly what they are and where they're going to be, but I just don't believe that they don't know any more than what they're putting out,
I don't either, man. I think the military is just it's too advanced for me to believe that they just can't track these things. I mean, you think like when they hit the was it the ISIS commander? One of the last guys they hit, but
yeah.
They hit him in the passenger seat of a car driving down the road with a fucking missile with swords on it. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, now,
we can't with that precision, fucking miles and miles and miles and miles away.
Which goes to say, hold on, let me get something before I bring this point up.
Yep.
Now, could it be alien craft? And the technology that they have, as far as that we have, is nowhere near as sophisticated as the aliens are. So therefore, we don't know what the hell's going on. That's my tinfoil hat, conclusion, is that it's some kind of foreign thing. And when I say foreign, like I said, I don't mean from another country. I'm talking about some fucking technology that the world doesn't even know of because it's from another place. Could
Yeah.
it be that, or is that just going too far off the deep end?
I don't think aliens are smart enough to make light bulbs to
No,
put
it's like,
on their drones.
well, there
So
goes my hat. Thanks a lot. I want to say aliens, dude.
I like it too. If there were no lights on it and people were just like seeing like just a speck light
So,
shimmer,
so
but
you're saying they wouldn't even need those lights if it were alien
I wouldn't
craft?
think so.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because if they got the technology to do what they're doing with these drones, why? Yeah, I'm with you. Like, why would they need these little different colored lights on them?
Yeah,
That's
because
something we
it's
do.
like aviation lights, like
Yeah,
safety
yeah.
aviation lights is the weirdest part to me, honestly. Out of all of it, that's the weirdest part to me is that these drones are flying around with FAA aviation lighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
so
Well, let me ask you
strange.
this: you think there's any chance it could be just some random person or persons?
That was kind
Like
of my first thought,
novice.
honestly.
I mean, like escaping the government's grasp that long.
That
Hard. Yeah.
honestly, that was my first thought, but it's there's a couple things that it kind of goes back to. Is for one, the government doesn't know who's doing it, and there's probably not too many people that aren't within the government's grasp. No matter how
Well,
much you would like to not be, and then
right.
the heat, like you said, like how do you do that? I don't, maybe it's just a big ass foam body that they have these motors in to where it's just not letting heat out. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think our government is competent enough to not be, fooled this long by some citizens. I mean, I can get it if it's a night or two, but this has been going on for days now.
right,
I would like to think they would have tracked that down if it was just some idiot in his basement, that decided to make some drones and launch them. I think it's more sophisticated than that. Now, one of the crazy stories I heard was that they were sniffing for nukes that were missing from Ukraine. That was because in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan, he disbanded the nuclear weapons program, and
hmm
supposedly there were upwards of 80 nuclear warheads that went missing. Now, they had a source, who said he actually put his eyes and hands on one of these that he knew for a fact was making its way to the United States back then, and it was just gone. It was missing. So a lot of people were thinking that they were sniffing for radiation is why they were flying so low, you know.
yeah.
But this retired Navy guy that was speaking was saying that that's not like if they were going to do that, it would probably be a ground search.
And why now?
Well, right. Why now? And he said it would probably be a 24/7 operation. Like if you're looking for a fucking nuclear warhead, you're
Yeah.
not just going to do it every now and then at night, like you're going
Yeah,
like,
it's
holy shit. And I'm with you. Like, why now?
yeah.
So that one's kind of not very plausible. I kind of throw that one out the window, but I'd say aliens before I'd say they're looking for a nuclear
Yeah,
warhead.
me
And
too. Because
now,
I know the US government, like in recent times, I think we've lost six total that we don't know where they're at.
oh, the nukes.
Yeah,
That's
like
freaking
our
lovely.
government, we've lost six in within America that we don't know where they're at, between just right off the coast um and they were like, fuck it, they're gone.
Did they
You know.
check with Dr. Evil?
I don't think they did. I don't
No.
think so. I think somebody's gonna wind up shooting a fucking like a private Cessna out the sky over this shit though.
That would be kind of fucked up. Now, I guess, I mean, these things are flying low enough where a civilian could shoot these.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
But
they're
I'm with
low.
you. Somebody's gonna freak out, and there's gonna be like a personal aircraft coming over, and they're gonna take this damn thing out.
It's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, it's
You're
crazy,
just
man.
trying to go to your little vacation spot with your little fucking Piper, and then some rednecks are shooting you out the sky.
Yeah, well, and I tell you though, honestly, the more that you look into it and just reading that article that I had pulled up, I'm starting to believe it is from probably China. I
Yeah,
mean, like you said, with the way that how close they are to these military bases and all.
it's the most
I mean,
plausible.
yeah, it really is, and it's a fucking shame, because they just did that not too long ago and got away with it. And it's like, how many times are we going to allow them to do that?
Right.
know, I just don't understand that. And
We allow him to do a lot of shit, man.
yeah,
I was watching a story. There was he was an American hacker. Like he didn't work for the government or anything. He was just, you know, a hacker playing around and shit. And he wound up hacking into some Chinese military servers.
right.
And he found a bunch of like classified information from the US government that China had hacked.
Okay.
So he got with basically sent it to the FBI and was like, "Hey, da da da," and they came to him and were like, "Hey, you need to stop fucking snooping around. Like, you know, hacking's illegal, buddy, you know?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, "What the fuck? Like, these people have sensitive classified information in China right now, and I'm trying to point you in that direction." And he said nobody would listen. He wound up getting arrested for like hacking and shit.
And all they're worried about is the hacking that he's
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Now Wade's in the comments making some decent points. You know, a CIA, psych op, fake false flag, which we do. I mean, the government does do that. I don't. I guess they could be setting something up, you know, to kind of distract us from something else that could be going on, like he's talking about with martial law before Trump takes over. I don't know. I think it's myself. I just think it's China doing what China does because they know that we're not going to do a damn thing about it.
Yep.
You know, I mean that's probably the easiest answer to all of it. You know, it's not the most fun answer. I'd rather it be
No.
aliens. I'd rather them come out and say, "Look, these are spacecraft.
Me
Like we
too.
don't. This technology is just out of this world." Which, like I said, it does make me wonder, like what have they done to where they're not tracking the heat source at all? Whatever's
Right.
driving these things, you know. That is the crazy part. Not saying they can't have some technology that China or somebody else developed, you know, to be able to do that, but it's just amazing. If the government's telling the truth and they don't know why, well, that's pretty fucking. They better get on board. You know?
Yeah, they better figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mm-mm.
I
Yeah.
like you know, we'll go the opposite because I saw that high tech special shit, right? I like the simplicity of how they killed that fucking the Russian what was he? He was like with the war general of Russia or some shit that Ukraine just killed.
What they do? I missed that one.
They put a bomb on a scooter handle and waited for him to walk out the door and blew it up.
It's just a random scooter handle.
Yeah, it was just like an electric
Yeah,
scooter, like
just
that you
sitting
would
there.
ride around, you know, and
Yeah,
it was just sitting in front the door, and they strapped a bomb to the handlebars, and when he walked out the front door, they fucking blew it up. Boom.
it's crazy. Now, I mean, I wonder why not just shoot him when he comes out the door. Like, I don't. I mean, I guess let's have fun with it, but
Yeah,
figure let's
I
just
just
snipe his ass when he walks out. You
I
know.
just like the simplicity. Like, just tape this
Yeah, just
bomb to that scooter. Tape it
like
to that scooter.
that's fucking crazy. What
You
else
didn't
is
see the
that?
video of that bomb blowing up? That shit it was big. It was huge. I don't know how they fit that much
Oh, they
explosives in a scooter handle.
they have it
Oh
online.
yeah, there's a video of him walking out the door and just
Let's see.
boom.
Let's see. Let me look at it. Let's look it up. Let's see. See if I can find it, and I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and it's YouTube safe. Like you just see the
YouTube.
scooter, see him, and then a bright ass flash of light.
Oh, look, bomb hidden in an electric scooter. All right.
Boom.
Let me get us set up here. Yeah, I didn't even hear about that, man. Let's see what's going on with this. Where's the scooter at? They got their stupid watermark all over the fucking. Where the fuck did it blow up?
There was another video.
Is he?
Nope, there was another one that it was from like the side, and you can clearly see the scooter.
Lord, hold on.
Oh yeah, look. So if you pause it, the scooter is right by the trash can, kind of by the
Yeah, yeah.
pole.
Oh, yeah. Up in here.
Boom.
So this is the guy, and then
Yeah,
they just well, warm. Look like it's snowing, so it warm things up.
it did.
That's cool. Damn, no, I didn't even see that dude. And who was he?
He was the head of Russia's chemical weapon warfare general guy. Like he was leading their chemical weapon research and usage.
not, imagine being involved in shit like that in any country, really, in any country that involved in shit like that, where you have to worry about that kind of shit every day of your fucking life.
Dude,
Man.
there he is. That's him with the bald head right there.
Oh, him?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now he has no head.
No, he does not. That was a fucking dude. Just like, how do they fit that in a scooter handle? Like, that's crazy. That was a
I don't
huge
know.
explosion.
That motherfucker looks mean, dude. Yeah.
Oh, he looks like a dick.
I guess he was perfect for the job until they got him. But so man,
They said, I think Ukraine put out a warrant for his arrest like last week or something like that. It was recent. It was a couple days ago, last week. But
Diego.
they,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was reading the comments. Diego.
yeah, Ukrainian intelligence did it. They put out a warrant for his arrest for the use of chemical weapons in Ukraine. So Ukraine, I guess, wanted to arrest him, and they were like, "Fuck that, we're gonna blow him up," and they did it.
Arresting nobody.
Yeah,
Hey,
arrest his dick.
they do that more to people over here instead of fucking wasting all kind of money feeding them assholes for years. Just fucking blow them up. I like how they had fun with it. Like I said, they could have just sniped his ass,
Right.
but instead they're like, nah, let's send a message,
It's like the mafia, dude.
Yeah. It really is, because like I said, there was really no reason to do all that. I mean, there was no reason at all. There's so many other ways they could have took this dude out if they had that kind of access to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they were able to get there and put a bomb on the scooter. Apparently, they knew exactly where the fuck he was and that he'd be walking out that door. And something had to trigger the bomb. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody must have been watching and was like,
yeah. That was my thinking, because at first I was going to say, well, I guess they could have had some kind of timer on it so nobody had to hang around. But how do they know when the dude was going to walk out the door? But that wrecked him for sure. It really did, Wade. Now, I seen some bitch went crazy, decided to shoot up a Christian school. I did see that.
yeah, I saw a little bit about it.
Yeah, another one, man. This one, I was waiting on it to be, the last couple were trans shooters, but apparently this one was, she was a little off a rocker, man. She was a feminist, for one. She hated fucking men and super fucking racist. I don't know what she had going on, but she
That's like usually the two farthest things from each other,
yeah, and but I don't know what this little girl had going on in her fucking mind, man.
She looks fucking nuts.
Yeah, she does, man. But she was idolizing the rest of these school shooters and shit, and I mean, wrote a whole fucking manifesto, and it broke down everything. And I just don't know, like, to get to that point at 15 years old, you know what I mean?
I know.
It's just so crazy, man. Especially in a girl, you don't hear about
I would
that.
say a female is where it's like, because usually, the violence kind of falls on the young males,
Yeah, yeah, and then when they did, like I said, the last couple females they had, it was they were trans, so
yeah,
I guess they were doing whatever they had to do. Like, oh, this is what boys do. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but this one kind of shocked me because I was waiting on it to come out and be another one of those. But no, they said she was just had a boyfriend and shit, and I don't know, man. I don't know what possesses him.
And like, you commented that she idolized the other school shooters and shit like that, and I feel like this may be another case of a school shooting that could have been stopped by parents paying attention, because you hear that. I mean, go watch any recent school shooting documentary, and they'll tell you that these people idolize the Columbine shooters. They idolize the Virginia Tech shooter. They just research and research. So it's like, if you're paying enough attention, it's like, why are you obsessed with these fucking mass shooters? What the fuck is going on? Like, you're 13 and you've got pictures of fucking, Eric Klebold on your wall. What the fuck? What is happening?
Yeah, you figure somebody would catch that. I mean, the boyfriend that they talked to said that, he kind of knew, or had, she had said a few things, but he didn't take her serious,
They never do.
Yeah, well, that is. I mean, because if somebody's talking like that, especially as a teenager, you're another teenager, you're not taking that shit serious, I mean, it especially if they're not saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do and this is when I'm going to do it. And then it's like, well, maybe you tell somebody, but with this one, I think he just kind of, she made some little comments and all, but I don't think she blatantly came out and told him that, because I know in her manifesto she said she planned it all by herself, blah blah blah. But apparently she got the firearm from her father, and I was trying to see because she wrote about that. There it is. She expressed that she got the weapons to commit the attack through lies, manipulation, and my father's stupidity, she said. So I guess she wanted to let people know that my dad didn't just give me, this gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. She started talking about something. It turned into, I forget the whole manifesto, but it was something about people hanging themselves, and then she was, said, especially those N words. Once you fuck one of them, you're tainted. You're tainted for life. I mean, just going on and on about it and shit, like super racist shit. So it was just an odd combination, like you said. White supremacist, fucking,
Feminist.
Yeah, heterosexual girl. Just going and shooting up fucking schools. I don't know.
Does her manifesto say anything about the FBI being great and they shouldn't look any farther and shouldn't
First
dig
of
any
all,
deeper?
I just want to let the FBI know I appreciate what you guys do, and this was definitely not orchestrated by them. No, I'm trying to. The whole damn manifesto's out, and it's everywhere except for when I'm fucking looking for it. That's what I'm trying to find right now. But let's see. This is probably it. Oh yeah, good luck. I mean, could they have it any smaller? So I don't know. It's just a lot of shit. I'm not gonna sit here and read this girl's whole fucking manifesto, but no, she had this shit planned out. It was thought out apparently for a while. And there's the N word. Worse, once you sleep with one, you are one. I don't care who you think you are or what you've done good for this world of yours, but she just did not like them. And I know I'm reading slow for anybody watching. It's not because I'm retarded, but I can't see very well at the computer that I'm looking at. So
I'm not retarded, but I
yeah,
like rocks.
I'm like, and the cat went and I can't read this shit, so I'm trying to make sense of it. But anyway, that's the two big news stories that I remember, at least. I'm sure there's other fucked up shit going on in the world. Oh, I did see your boy here. Is that your uncle?
Yeah,
Derek Chauvin?
that's him right there. Free unk.
Free unk. No, he said he's been granted permission to examine heart tissue and fluid samples taken from George Floyd's body. He says Chauvin claimed his attorney failed to seek testing of Floyd's heart tissue samples after a doctor suggested the test would show evidence of a heart condition. Now, if the man had a heart condition, does it excuse Chauvin as far as being responsible for his death? I mean,
I guess if they can prove that's what killed him, because like if you think of it in the sense of like a self-defense shooting, right?
Right.
If you're, it's a very there's a line of justified, not justified, right? So say you shoot somebody while you're still on the justified side of it, right? You hit them in the heart, and then they people don't die instantly, like they don't just drop. So he turns around, he starts running, you shoot him again in the back, and you hit him in the back of his shoulder, right? So when that goes to court, they're going to look at what shots were fired and what shots were fatal, right? So they're going to say, look, he was shot from the front in the heart. He was shot from the back and the shoulder. The heart shot from the front was the fatal shot. The shoulder shot did not kill him. So you're going to lean more towards being justified, even though you did shoot after, said individual turned around. So I say that to say that if they can prove that his heart condition, if he had one, was likely the cause of his death, I think it could definitely help his case.
Yeah, because they still have that, that video of him kneeling on him. So I would imagine that the state would argue that had he not kneeled on him so long, that his heart may not have, gave out. But they also have the blood tests that show he was full of drugs and methamphetamines and shit. So that right there, you compound that with a bad heart, then it's kind of hard to pin all that on Chauvin. But then again, I mean, he's fighting it's an uphill battle, because for one, he's already been convicted, And for two, he's in a, nobody wants to touch that. That's probably why the judge didn't allow that in the first place. They just wanted this shit over with. Cut, dry, you're guilty. I mean, they damn near, burnt down every city across the country over that shit. The last thing any judge wanted to do was prolong that. Nobody wanted their name on that, to be on the side of Chauvin was the problem,
Right.
So I don't think he was going to get a fair shake either way, no matter if he was, guilty or not. I'm saying, but he still wasn't going to get a fair shake just because it was such a high profile case and there was so much chaos going on around it. So, like I said, that's probably where the judge didn't allow that evidence to be brought in the first place,
Right.
So that's just my take. But what do I know?
Yeah.
I'm only a lawyer on Thursdays, so it's the wrong day. Let's see what else is happening. Let's scroll that cesspool they call X. I want to see what this is talking about. I want to see this. Let's see what this woman does. She's completely convinced that the law does not apply to her. Let's see what they're talking about.
Oh, Lord.
Let's get into it. Let's pull it up. Let's see who's in the wrong in this one.
Get in your car. What are you doing? Hey!
I don't know what your problem is.
Send me back. Hey! Stop walking away from the stop. Get back in the car.
I feel threatened.
Get back in the car.
No.
Get back in the car.
Do you have a police camera on?
Yes, I do.
I feel very threatened. You touched me.
Get back. You're getting out of the car.
Call the police. Call the police. Call the police. He's not.
Get back in your car.
I don't know who this man is. And
Get
I'm
back in
just
your
going
car.
to the car.
I'm stopping you because you crossed over the lane, improper lane usage. I turned around and pulled you over. You got out of your car. Please get back in your car.
No. Call your supervisor. No.
Get back in the car.
Not too like it. She's like,
What's your
no.
deal?
I don't know what your problem is.
I told you over. Why are you getting out of the car? I didn't attack you. I didn't even touch you.
Attacked her.
Get back in your car. You need to take a moment.
I don't know what your problem is. Please leave me alone.
Okay, you need to get back in your car. What's going on?
I don't know what's
I'm 10-4. I have a lady. Stop.
Please call your supervisor because
Out of the car.
you're not. I wasn't doing anything. And you're attacking me.
Get back.
You grabbed your gun.
Fish, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know you. You need to get back in your car. The reason, can I talk to you for 1 second? Can you hear me out? So I pulled you over. Maybe you didn't notice, but I got out of the car and I said, hey, please get back in your car because I conducted a traffic stop on you. And now you're not listening to direction. I need you to get back in the car.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Call your supervisor.
Oh,
wow.
You're on the way.
Call your
Just to
supervisor.
pull you over? Yes, I do. So we're going to stay here. I don't mind. I'm not going to put you in cuffs or anything like that right
No,
now
I haven't done anything.
because you're not listening to my orders.
I haven't done anything.
You need to relax. You need to sit down. It's fine. We don't need to escalate any further.
I haven't done anything.
Okay, you
Why are you
committed
trying to put me in handcuffs? What law have I broken?
because you're not listening to me.
That's not a law. I know my laws.
Okay, so you disobeyed a traffic
I'm not talking
violation.
to you. I need a lawyer. I'm not talking to you. Get your supervisor. I need a lawyer.
That's fine. I got people coming.
I need a supervisor.
So what I'm going to need is your identification, right?
No, sir. Get your fucking
Okay,
supervisor.
so you refusing to identify yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Get your supervisor.
I need you to identify yourself. So you're going to need to provide me with your identification while we're waiting. Because I'm
Get your
conducting a traffic
supervisor.
stop.
I didn't heard you call the supervisor.
I already got a few units coming.
Okay. Is your body camera on?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up so you can see me.
That's fine.
You have no right to detain me right now.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. I haven't broken any laws.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, you're
right
supervisor.
there, Brookdale and Westminster in the lot where the strip one is. Do you work here?
I don't answer questions, especially from people who.
Man, he didn't even take her down.
I wish he'd have fucking slammed her fucking ass. Oh my God.
I mean, I guess she, what he said, for crossing the line or something, crossing the center line.
Yeah, she must have crossed like a double yellow or something.
And it's like, why? What is she going into full-fledged fucking panic mode for? Like I mean, you've never been pulled over by a police officer before, and if you have, or if you haven't, I don't know what you thought was going to come out of that. You know what I mean?
don't get it, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know what this woman's been through, but it's like that's probably not the
Like,
proper.
Yeah, I know, and it's just like, where is the in between, like the good line of like those cops and the I'm not fucking arguing with you cops. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not standing here fucking arguing with you. Shut the fuck up, or you're gonna get fucking slammed right now.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
he was patient.
Oh
You know
my
what
God, he had much more patience than I would.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't have time for this shit, lady. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know what her deal was, why. Maybe she had a bad experience with one before, but maybe she was off her meds. Ain't no
She was
telling.
off of something.
Yeah. Well, let's see what this guy's doing. Here's another one. It must be people fucking with police night. Let's see what he's.
You ain't gonna do not do it to him then. Do it to
That
him
is cops, isn't it?
You
It
gonna
looks
do
like
it, do
Yeah,
it.
it looks like our security.
Oh yeah.
Show him some. Stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground. If you gonna do it, do it. Let them know. Sometimes you gotta tell them better than you can show. Show them better than you can tell them.
Fuck you.
Just slam his fucking ass.
No matter who's on the right.
Put him on his fucking head.
Do it sometimes.
Damn. I wonder what the backstory. I wish they. Well, fuck. I want to see the aftermath of that, dude. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Part 1 or 2. And there's the aftermath.
Oh yeah, that's my part. I love it. Oh shit!
Hold on here. Yeah, how'd that work out for him?
Yeah, motherfucker, put him on the bowling balls.
This old man's like, man, I ain't got no time for this.
God damn it, can't bring y'all nowhere.
Don't do it to him.
I mean, how did you expect that to turn out?
Stop.
Just like that. I'm so glad it did.
Don't do it.
I mean, even if you're in the right, like, how do you expect that to turn out? That's why they always say, man, you let them do what they got to do, and you try to
Argue it in
fight them.
court.
Yeah, you try to argue it in court, because this ain't turning out good for him, which he's very lucky he's still standing. Then they let him go.
Go. Yeah,
Tase him.
He's,
He done got his jacket back on and everything.
they're going to escort him out.
Yo, shit.
Like,
Yo, shit. Oh, don't do it to
Yeah, do it to him. Oh god damn.
Wait, I want to see where he got away. He spun out of that, boy.
That's why he put the jacket back on.
Man, look. I mean,
Upside
dude,
down on the ground. Jeez.
you talk about some fucking leniency, huh? I don't know why they let that shit go on that long.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see the backstory to that shit. See if anybody's got it. It would never happen in my days on the job. Yeah, he's lucky to happen at all. Yeah, nobody really says, I wish I knew what was going on, because I don't understand why that guy was even allowed to get up and put that jacket on,
Right.
unless he didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the backstory was, but they sure were fucking had a lot of patience with him.
They did.
So apparently he wasn't too much in the wrong, but anyway, all right.
Real quick. So
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
think about these stats, right? So
You should.
I've been reading just the National Highway Safety like fatal accident reports just out of boredom, And so I was reading their stats that they posted the other day, right? So this is the trends, and it's figure 8, which is proportion of people killed by highest driver blood alcohol content in the crash from 1982 to 2022, right?
Okay.
So in 1982, crazy numbers of drunk driving fatalities, right? 50% almost of the fatalities that were reported had a .08 or higher, right? And it was, it looks about 44% of the fatalities had a 0 blood alcohol level. Well, as you go through time to 2022, right, the blood alcohol in the fatal crashes dropped down to about 30% is the .08 percentage of fatal crashes. And It's at about 68% of 0.00 blood alcohol content. Right. But if you read the other reports of how many fatal crashes there are total, it's about even throughout time, right? So is it saying I'm not advocating for drunk driving at all,
No. You sure?
but
Sounded like you were
I'm
cheering.
just wondering if it's just like the same people that just can't fucking drive that
All right.
happen to just get drunk
Okay, well, all right. Now, for
and cause a
one,
crash.
break these numbers down. Like I'm 3 years old again. Now, tell me. And I was listening. I wasn't
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
these.
yeah.
Where I wasn't listening. I'm trying to follow.
Okay, so it's telling you out of all the fatal crashes that happened, say in 1982, right? Out of all the fatal crashes, okay, it's about 48% of those crashes, right? One party involved in that crash had a .08 or higher blood alcohol content, okay,
Okay.
and about 42% had a 0.00 blood alcohol content. So there were more people involved in fatal accidents that had a .08 or higher blood alcohol content in 1982. Okay. Fast forward to 2022, there are about 32% that have a blood alcohol content of .08 or higher that are involved in all fatal crashes that happened that year. And about 63 or so percent had a 0.00, right? So it's like, okay, we have all the drunk driving classes and people know not to drive fucked up. So obviously the number of people dying in drunk driving accidents should go down. But the number of total fatal accidents across the board have stayed, I mean, fairly consistent at I'll tell you.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like trying to. It's like doing Stephen Hawking's fucking scientific calculations right now in my brain. I'm trying.
Well, maybe if I don't add the numbers in, but basically from 1982 to 2022, the number of drunk driving fatalities went down by about 20%, right?
Okay.
The number of not just sober crash fatalities went up by about the same amount, maybe a little more, okay? But the total number of fatal accidents stayed the same through that time. So there's less drunk people involved in fatal accidents, but there's still the same amount of fatal accidents.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
So I guess it's like, did we help with the drunk driving and, drunk driving leading to fatal accidents? Yes, but we did not fix the problem of the fatal accidents happening in the first place, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, and I would assume, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but I was going to say maybe the amount of people that were driving drunk and causing fatal accidents have gone down since, the Mothers Against Drunk Driving and all
Yep.
shit took over, and they started getting harsher with the penalties and all. So that may have went down, but then I would assume as the years goes on, there's more drivers on the road. So therefore,
Well, there
it makes
is.
up the difference, you know what I mean, just from
And I
regular everyday accidents that people are dying in kind of made up that gap, you know what I mean?
I
It's
do
all I can say.
have that as well. So, like 1982, there were 43,000 fatal accidents, right? Or 43,000 people killed
Right.
from accidents, right? And out of that, 21,000, so 21,000 out of 43,000, there was a drunk driver involved. Okay, that's in 1982. In 2022, there were 42,000 fatalities on the road, and 13,000 of those happened to involve a drunk driver. Okay. So, and same time, there were 84 million licensed drivers in 1988. there were 116 million licensed drivers in 2022. So you have 40 more million people
Yeah,
on
so
the road.
it's a lot more people on the road. So
It's
apparently the driving impaired
would that
fatalities
go?
have gone down.
The impaired driving fatalities have gone
Yeah.
down by a
Even
good
with
amount.
even with Josh, because Josh is in the comments saying that it's not just alcohol these days. A lot of folks are driving higher,
That's true
tight
too.
on all kinds of drugs, but still, apparently the fatality rate of people that are involved in those accidents where they're impaired on something have gone down. Because I'm sure they count that in. I mean, unless you're just talking about alcohol related.
Well, that's just fatal accidents, period. They're not giving me percentages. I'm just looking at the straight graphs.
Yeah.
And my
Well, I
numbers
was
on
meaning
the
when you were.
licensed drivers were wrong. I was looking at the licensed male drivers. I apologize. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just wondering like what is it just
Josh made a good
that
point.
there's so many people on the road that leads to the fatalities that we see?
Yeah, there is, but I mean, in actuality, too, it's when you when you drive to work or drive anywhere, look at the amount of cars,
Absolutely.
and then look at the amount of accidents. It's really astonishing that it's not more.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. You figured every mile you'd see a fucking accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're not doing that bad, but as far as
No, it's not terrible. I was just, I was just kind of
yeah.
looking at the numbers, and I'm like, well, the drunk driving fatalities have went down, but fatalities, period, have not. And I mean, if you think of it, I guess as percentages, it's went down a little bit, but really, I mean, in the grand scheme of 1988 having 162 million total licensed drivers on the road versus 2022 having 235 million total licensed drivers on the road.
That's a lot of people driving.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's a lot. Honestly, I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
it's about almost 100 million, roughly.
Yeah,
About
yeah.
70 million more people.
So surprisingly, the fatality rate isn't, skyrocket compared to what it was in the 80s. Now, like Josh in the comments said, we have safer cars nowadays.
We do.
So it is true. I mean, they're hella safe compared to how they were back, in the 70s and 80s, which I say that they were fucking tanks back then. But yeah, overall, though, I'm sure with the airbags and just the way that, everything's meant to crumple in right spots and shit, which, it's a lot safer cars. We're driving faster than we ever have before, but apparently we're in safer, vessels.
Yeah. Let's see
But
if I have the total accident number, fatal or not.
I'm surprised the fatalities with people driving impaired has even went down, honestly, because
A lot, dude.
and it's crazy because not that it shouldn't have, but it's like, I guess it's deterred people. Maybe the harsh penalties, which one of the first things Josh said in the comments was that the courts give DUI drivers too many chances.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not. I know around here, if you get, I think 3, if you wind up serving prison time. Your first one, it's going to cost you out the ass, and the second one is going to cost you even more, and then you lose your license for a while. And then usually on the third one, you're about 1.5 years to 2 years in prison after that if you don't have any priors, which maybe that's too many chances. Because all it takes once to kill somebody. But I guess they try to give people a chance, to.
Yeah, I guess it's like you make a mistake, but like.
Yeah, because I've done it. I've driven so fucked up, in my younger days. I don't even know how I got home sometimes, and that's not that's not a brag. That's just a reality that I did. I've been pulled over fucked up multiple times and got away. And I've never had a DUI, luckily, because I've done my share of irresponsibly driving while under influence. I have done it. I'd be a fool or a liar to sit here and say I didn't.
Yeah. So the involvement rate per 100,000 licensed drivers in the 80s was about 2,400 per year, right? So 2,400, just the involvement rate of total crashes, period.
Okay, total crashes.
and today it is about 1,200. So it's almost gone down. It's gone down by a little more than half the total crashes.
Wait. What do you mean? And how long of a period? A day?
No. I said today, like from the 80s till today.
I know I'm
The
confused on what the
involvement rate
numbers are
per
representing.
100,000. So I'm just talking about all crashes that happened in 1988, right?
Yeah.
Was 3.9 million. All
Okay.
right. Number involved in crashes total. In 2022, the total is 3 million.
Excuse me. But yeah, but what were you just saying about 2,400 and like
That
where?
was the per capita per 100,000 licensed drivers.
Okay. I thought you were saying, I thought that number represented the real, like, I'm thinking 2,400. Like, there's no way. There's way more accidents than that happening.
No. There was 2,400 per 100,000 licensed drivers in the
Oh, okay.
80s.
Yeah, I missed that part. All right.
And 1,200 per 100,000 licensed drivers in 2022.
Well, it damn sure don't seem like it's because we're driving better. Because I watch some of these fools, which I'm
Dude.
probably one of them, just barreling down the fucking interstate. Everybody's in road rage mode, and get the fuck out of my way. And
man, if you go read some of these reports of the fatal crashes that they've just studied and written reports on, it'll surprise you how much it doesn't take to kill you in a car accident. Like really, some of them I'm reading, and they'll have it marked as low speeds. Severity of injuries was relatively low, and there will be 2 fatalities. Like
yeah.
a lot of them are between 35 and 55 miles an hour.
I guess it's probably a lot of it related to just head trauma because it doesn't take
Oh
much.
yeah, because they give you the injury reports too, and a lot of it is brainstem trauma. It's bleeding of the brain.
Yeah.
There's a few of them with like puncture wounds and shit through the chest, but most of it is brain.
And I'll tell you another thing that's probably contributed to the lack of fatalities compared to how many drivers we have on the road nowadays is that the seatbelt laws that were passed.
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, there wasn't. I mean, you could in a car all day long in the back seat as a kid without a seatbelt on. Where nowadays, even the adults in the front, and I don't know if that's in every state. I guess it's a nationwide law, but
Yeah.
I know over here, I mean, it's buckle up or they're going to write you a fucking ticket. So it took a while. It took years for that to really catch on and become a habit to everybody. But I think for just about everybody I know, it's almost a habit that when you get in your car nowadays, you just snap your seatbelt. Now, I know your ass is guilty of not doing it all the time.
Yep.
But most people I know, it's just a habit. You know what I mean? Once they made it law and they started pushing it back when I was young, it was, I grew up as a kid kind of doing it after the law, but then as I got older, it just became habit. And then it became habit to, a lot of my kids, except for you, for some reason. I don't know what you have against seatbelts driving a fucking sports car. But
I don't know. I'd never.
Who of all people?
I just hop in and roll, man. But and another thing that you'll see reading the reports is the importance of airbags. And when they don't go off, how much I'm gonna say seatbelts because that's the one that stuck out to me was reading the injury report on the guy that died from an airbag not going off, and the seatbelt really fucked him up. Not saying don't wear it, but I mean they got to pay attention to the airbags. As far as I know, they had that big airbag recall that went on, and just the inside of the car will fuck you up, I guess, if you don't have it on. But like the airbags didn't go off in this one particular case, and his spleen was blown out, his liver was cut in half, every rib was broken. It was like one of those 45, 55 mile an hour wrecks.
Yeah,
and
because when them seatbelts stop you, bro, they stop you. They
stop you. Yes.
And I know when they first started doing them, they were just lap belts, which I don't know what the fuck that did besides maybe stop you from being ejected, but it didn't stop your whole body from flying forward and smashing your fucking face on the goddamn.
Nope. That was another too that sticks out is one that I was reading, a lady was only wearing the lap portion. She had the other portion behind her, and
Yeah, I see people like that all
she
the time.
submarined under the seatbelt and
Oh,
wound up. I think they called it a premature amputation of the one of her legs. The other leg was completely blown out. She was one of the fatalities, but
sounds fun.
and it was it was a 35-mile-an-hour head-on crash. And she wound up dying from it. It was just crazy reading some of the reports because you think like fatality, like you think people
Yeah,
just
like
like
destruction.
flipping and just boom, boom, and then you see some of the pictures they take of the cars, and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, fuck. Then you see some that it's like, how the fuck did anybody live? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You see some of
absolutely.
it's like, god damn, man.
Yeah, especially you see the like the gap of damage of like there was actually a guy that was driving a Camaro and he did hit a tree head on, but I mean the car it wasn't terrible. Like
I'm laughing at that. It's just, well, he did hit a tree, going.
but the damage to the car, like I mean, there was no intrusion into the passenger cabin. I mean the radiator barely touched the front of the motor and he died. He
Yeah.
wasn't wearing a seatbelt,
Well,
but he died from it.
I walked up on one, man. That 18-wheeler was stopped on the fucking interstate, and that fucking car didn't even touch the brakes. So I was behind it, and boom, man. So I got out, ran up there, and the dude's he was basically eating his steering wheel, like his mouth was just around the
Yeah.
fucking. He was gone. Dude in the backseat gurgling and shit, and I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw, dude, I was right behind that car. That 18-wheeler was at a dead stop, and that motherfucker didn't even tap the brakes, man. Just bam, right into it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. So,
That was a big thing I saw in a lot of the pictures of them. Like, I'd say probably 90% of the pictures I saw that weren't rollover crashes, you can see that steering wheel bent over. Like, it seems like a lot of it has to do with not hitting the fucking steering wheel because, I mean, you ever felt like, you ever just punch the top of your steering wheel? That motherfucker's hard, dude.
let's face it, doing fucking 70,
Oh, man.
which nowadays, I guess the airbag's supposed to prevent all
It's
that.
supposed to, but there was a couple of them where, because usually the NTSB is they're investigating because the family is trying to sue the manufacturer of the car.
Okay.
So they're investigating all the shit. So there were a lot of them where the airbags didn't go off. It would be because of a rear end impact, sends the car veering off and it starts flipping. Well, the airbags don't go off because there was no front end contact. There was a Jeep that the airbags didn't go off because they hit at like a 20% overlap head-on collision and the airbags didn't go off. But if you look at the Jeep, it probably didn't matter.
We weren't gonna make it anyway.
Yeah, it was.
I seen the family of Paul Walker was trying to sue.
Yeah.
The Fast and Furious guy, and it's like because the guy was driving like a fucking idiot on a wet road. You know what I mean?
I saw a video on this 2 days ago. 2 days ago, right? Somebody was driving the same Porsche that they were driving, okay? And the rear suspension it's set up crazy where the shocks are kind of pointed forward, like they're not up and down like ours. The shocks are kind of laid down and pointing forward, right? So his particular Porsche, he's driving, they're doing probably like 20, and the rear end just drops, sits on the tires, locks the rear tires up, and he's like, I thought I had a flat, but the threads had stripped out on his shocks, and Porsche wind up almost giving him $100,000 worth of fixing and upgrades to the car and shit. And they were talking about it in the video. They were like, dude, I wonder if that's how fucking Paul Walker crashed. I said, that's nuts. Because he said, if I was doing any faster than 40, I wouldn't have been able to control the car. The rear wheels would have locked up and it have spun.
Well, from what I understand, though, it was wet. It was raining or it had just rained, and the guy's in a fucking Porsche, and when you drive like an idiot in one of those things, it's going to get away from you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think they investigated the fuck out of that because I think the family was trying to sue and everything, and I think it just came down to the Porsche was like, look, motherfucker, like these things are meant to go fast. They're meant to fly like a rocket. People know that. You get in them, you stomp the damn thing when it's wet, and you're going to lose control. It is what it is. We can't sit there and pay for every damn accident that somebody gets into.
Yeah, no doubt. I wish they gave details on the traffic safety reports on where the accidents happened, because I would like to know if this man's family got a settlement. He was in a Honda and he rear-ended somebody at, it was about 30 miles an hour. He rear-ended somebody and the airbag went off. Well, when the airbag went off, the detonator broke and it slung metal at him through the airbag, punctured through the airbag, hit his artery and killed him. He bled out in the car.
A fucking grenade.
Yeah. So I was like, motherfucker.
I would have to think that's probably a hefty lawsuit.
I was like, damn, ain't nobody hear about that one,
Yeah, I would have to think that's a lawsuit waiting to happen right there. I mean, that sounds like some faulty shit, because I don't think metal's designed to come flying through the airbag.
No, they had pictures of, like, there was washers and nuts and bolts and shit from the detonator device that just flew through the airbag when it went off.
That was a crazy thing when Dale Earnhardt, when he died. If you ever watched that crash, like it looked like it was so just
a normal crash.
Just boom, bump. But I mean, I'm sure NASCAR looks like it looks like they're not really doing much on TV. And then when you watch those certain views from the side when them fucking cars come flying by, it's just fucking amazing. I can see why people go to those, because I've always made fun of it. Like, fuck that NASCAR shit, stupid. Why would you go watch these cars go in circles? And then they show these certain angles of them fucking cars zooming by, and it is just amazing watching these things zip by.
Yeah.
So, even though Earnhardt's accident looked like it wasn't doing much on TV, I'm sure it had a little speed behind it. But compared to some of the accidents that we see on there, for that to kill him was crazy, which I think it changed some kind of rules or something where they hold the helmet more still.
They had that. I think that may have been the first or second season that they put out that device that you're talking about.
Right.
But it wasn't mandatory, and he didn't want it.
Right. I got you. Yeah.
And then the same
like
season it kills him, and they're like, oh no, now y'all motherfuckers are wearing it.
Yeah, I seen that because, like I said, I've watched that crash 100 times, and it didn't look like much happened. Apparently, it was enough to snap his neck. But let me see some. I was trying to see if they had one of them videos, man. It just amazes me every time I watch it because of how fast these cars just come by, man. Just like you don't even see them. It's just like,
I know.
Damn, like dude, they're fucking a foot away from each other. Like it's crazy, dude. Man, I wish I could find one.
I love when it's someone filming and you can see the camera shake every time a car passes by. It's just
come by. It's like holy
so much power.
Yeah. I didn't respect it just watching it on TV, like thinking, why would you go to that? But it's just, I mean, it's amazing. I can't find one quick enough. I wanted to pull it up, but
that's why I like being at the drag strip when they have the jet dragsters and shit out there.
Oh yeah,
them motherfuckers there.
Let's see. Nobody's got a good one. Anyway. I don't know. I was gonna try to find. Yeah, I was gonna try to find one real quick, but I don't see anything. It ain't pulling nothing up real fast. It's just a bunch of NASCAR fucking. Well, like I said, it don't even do it justice when you're just watching it. It looks like they're doing 6 miles per hour. Like for instance, let's see. I mean, look at it. It don't look like they're doing anything special. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just driving, but then like if your camera's still and they pass by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh my God, dude. It's like, how the fuck are they driving them things like that? And I mean, like right up on, you can see it there, just right next to people, right up on their asses.
I know. I don't like being close to people at 80 on the interstate.
Like yeah. This is that motherfucker on the interstate right there.
Yeah. Like, hey, motherfucker. That's why road rage happens right there.
That's exactly why. Dude, my butthole be puckering so bad right about now. Like, God damn. Man, look at that. Look at that white car creeping up on that black one, dude. And they're zooming. I mean, zooming.
Oh, yeah. They rolling.
Fuck that.
I love when someone gets bumped and then they both end up in the grass and they hop out and start swinging on each other. I love it. You motherfucker! You just...
That's what they need more in NASCAR. You can kind of catch some of the glimpse of the speed, and they're just starting. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
When they come by that still shot.
They're so close to each other,
Yeah.
too. Like, look at the orange and the yellow car. Like, they're just.
Yeah, and they're not even, I mean, in that beginning shot, they're not even moving yet, hardly.
They should just brake check him. Get off my ass.
Look at these assholes. Look at them. Just a bunch of, like you said, a bunch of road raging assholes out there.
They are, too.
Man, I want to go to a NASCAR race now.
It's crazy how much the aerodynamics and shit play into that, why they have to be so close so that the wind doesn't affect the car as much. And, you know,
It really is, because you start hearing some of these guys talking, and it's just so much more to it than just sitting in your car and driving. You know what I mean? Everything is just a fucking science. You know, it's crazy, which is a lot of them sports. I mean, it used to, it's like trying to explain football to a lot of women. You know what I mean? They don't understand that them guys aren't just running around the field. You know, it's like there's
out there grabbing ass and touching balls.
Receivers going a certain way, you know, for a certain reason, and this guy's blocking this way for a reason, and the defender's rushing in and I mean, everything is just, it's orchestrated. You know, it's almost like a ballet dance these guys are doing. You know, and you know, that's why a lot of people that aren't into football, they just just a bunch of guys running around, you know, tackling each other. And I'm like, it's a little more. Did you
see Buddy on the Dolphins getting nailed this weekend?
No, but I'm about to look it up.
Fucked up.
The Dolphins guy? Let me search. Let's look at it. Probably get flagged for fucking copyright. Fuck them.
He said they all drive so fast and close together. It reminds me of Massachusetts drivers. Only difference is NASCAR drivers have skills. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he got popped. Let's see. Helmet to helmet. And they got him.
They cut his shirt off, had him on a stretcher.
Oh, damn. It was that
belted
bad?
Down. Oh, yeah.
Man. Because it looks bad, but not like that. But I guess that head injury, man, you just don't know. Because for one, your head hits the person, and your head hits the ground. Yeah. I was trying to see if they had another. Oh, there he is. Damn, like they were getting him off the.
Yeah.
Wow, no, I didn't see that. Man, he got. Why they get paid like they do, though, man. It's, you know, that's why I never. Which I get the guys that are suing, you know, from back in the day, because they used to
leather helmets.
Yeah, well, no, no, but even the guys like in the 80s, you know, where they would there was no protocol for concussions. You know what I'm saying? It would be like some sniffing salt and get your ass in the game, you know. And then it turned out where even after all that, a lot of the teams and the doctors or medical staff, they knew that these guys shouldn't be out there playing, but it was all about keeping the players on the field, you know what I mean, to win these games. So they were kind of overlooking a lot of injuries, and that's the ones that I say, you know, they have a reason to be in court. Nowadays, you know what you're signing up for.
You do.
I mean, you know it. So to me, it's like all these teams shouldn't be held liable for any of that. But see, that's part of why the NFL, they're being so pussyfied now, you know what I mean? Because the concussion lawsuits and all came out, and they were in the wrong for a lot of that shit back in the day, because they knew they were covering that shit up. Yeah. But like I said, nowadays, I mean, these motherfuckers know. You go out there, you get your bell rung. I mean, you may be an idiot when you're fucking, you know, 50, but I mean, you just make them sign that. You sign a waiver, boom, go out there and play. And I know other reasons they don't want all the injuries is a lot of times they're money players, you know, quarterbacks and shit. They don't need them sitting on the bench, you know, because it's hard to sell tickets when your fucking backup is in there stinking up the fucking game. But so I get it.
Was it Justin Herbert that just got nailed trying to slide? We were just talking about that a couple weeks ago, you and I, and I think it was over this weekend. He got smoked on a late slide. It might have been due for the Bears. One of the quarterbacks just got smoked.
Was it a penalty? So they penalized the defensive player?
Yeah, the flags flew out instantly.
Yeah, just like you and I talk about, like they need to make up some kind of rule where you know, these guys that go to the fake slide, and you never, as a defensive player, you don't know what the fuck this guy's doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of times your body's already in the motion to knock the fuck out this dude, and then all of a sudden he decides to slide. When
it was
mid fucking air.
If you watch the video, I mean, it's easy to say I wouldn't have hit him when it's in, like super slow-mo and it's like, he had 47 seconds to not hit him, but when you watch it real speed, like dude's got his whole body weight coming at you already with his shoulder down, ready to rock, and then you decide to slide. Like, what's he supposed to do?
Let's look it up. What's his name?
Let's see. Was it?
I mean, what team? Just tell me
I think it was the Bears.
the one that got hit.
Yeah.
Because I'll just search it like that. Man, I ain't pulling nothing up like quick.
Let me see.
Oh fuck, it ain't that big of a deal. I thought you
Yes,
knew.
it is. Oh, yeah, it was Justin
Damn it.
Herbert. Justin Herbert.
No, is that?
Yep. Jerry Tillery ejected after late hit on Justin Herbert. Raiders versus Chargers. Oh, that was October. The one that just happened. It was still Justin Herbert, but it wasn't the same defender.
Yeah, I see somebody pulling his fucking knees. Saints lineman tries to rip Justin Herbert's leg clean off. I'm trying to look for the hit though. An absolute.
It was versus the Chiefs.
Okay. I'm beginning to think you lost your mind. Like you don't know. They ain't
No,
nobody.
I was looking at it, but they've got Justin Herbert in pain after taking hit versus the Chiefs, and then they have the Raiders' Jerry Tillery ejected after dirty hit on Justin Herbert, like one after another.
Then why don't I see it though? Like it ain't pulling nothing up.
Really?
I'm searching. I'm not just sitting there. Like I'm looking on the other tab before I pulled up the footage. I don't see. I don't know. It's not showing. I'm not finding anything with it. But anyway.
Anyway, yeah, it was the same situation we was talking about the other day, but I have a weather report.
Dude.
We got the first ever tornado warning in San Francisco, and there was a tornado for the first time ever about an hour south of San Francisco
I saw
last
something
week.
about that. Is that an oddity? Like I don't follow weather.
Yeah, they don't get tornadoes in Cali.
But they just don't get that kind of weather out that way.
Yeah, they just don't have the mixing of the air like we do out here. So it's very, very, very odd to have a tornado out there. I'm sure they get rainstorms and shit, but they don't get them supercell thunderstorms like we get. And it was the first ever tornado warning for San Francisco.
So is this climate change?
I think it's the scientists. Maybe it's linked to the drones, dude.
That might be what it was. See, it's all coming back now. That's it. It's
Full
all,
circle.
Yep. No, let me see. San Fran. Yeah, like I said, I saw the kind of headline, but I don't think nothing of it because we're down here in the South. Somebody's always getting a tornado, so I didn't think nothing of it. But then, as you're saying it, it's like, yeah, I don't guess they get that kind of weather out there, so they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They were like, what in the...
And they got popped by an earthquake.
Yeah, this one describes it the best. Let me show you. People in San Fran seeing a tornado. Yeah, we're so used to that shit, man. Tornadoes, hurricanes,
Start
flooding.
getting high wind, and it's like,
Only thing we don't get fucked with is them earthquakes. I mean, you don't have to worry about that. That right there, dude, they can keep them earthquakes, man.
Yeah, fuck that. Dude, I saw a video of a guy, where was he at? It was like Chile or some shit. And he was in a bass boat. He's bass fishing out in the marsh out there, and an earthquake hits. And you just see all the marsh grass start moving, and then all the water starts bubbling underneath them and shit. Like, it was crazy. You just heard this big rumble. And then it looked like wind was coming through, but it was just the earth moving all the grass.
It's so crazy, dude. Now, and I would think that might be where you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make any sense? Like in the water, if an earthquake, because I mean, what gets you is the buildings falling and the fucking ground splitting and whatever else happens.
Yeah.
Like if you're out in the middle of the water, besides it
Well,
triggering a tsunami or something, but we're talking about a dude bass fishing somewhere. It's not like he's out in the fucking ocean,
yeah, and that's what I thought until he aimed that camera down and the fucking water was bubbling up from the side of like dude, it looked just like a Louisiana swamp. Like the grass just touches the water and you just see all the bubbles like all around him. It's just small air bubbles coming up, and I was like, oh, I don't trust that at all. I'd be fucking freaking.
Now I want to see it. You got to stop bringing up these fucking videos, but not bringing videos. I want to see this shit because I've always like I said. Oh, there it is. I just got
You
it.
found it?
Yeah. I'm about to play
Nice.
it.
Because I don't even remember where I saw it at.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's fishing, minding his business. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Damn, look at that gray. It looks like the wind.
Oh my dear God.
I don't even think he knows what.
Said, oh my dear God.
Yeah, you can see the bubbling.
All them bubbles. Look at them bubbles, dude.
I don't know what else you would attribute it to at that moment, though, besides wind. You know what I mean? But then I guess the bubbling would throw you off.
So my first thought would be if I was out in the Louisiana swamp in a boat and that happens, right? My first thought would be, have you ever seen that video of that sinkhole in Louisiana swallowing that tree hole? That lake, the bottom of that lake opened up. That would be my first thought. I'm like, oh shit, it's happening.
And just the whole boat and everything. Just
everything going down. Like that would be my first thought. But
yeah, I would. I don't know. It's freaky out on that water. I was just I was out there. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday. I was out there by myself, just kind of riding around, and I don't know, man. It's a lonely thing. It's bittersweet. It's nice being out there, but then you start like, man, something goes wrong out in them bayous or out in them swamps, man, or so shit like that kicks off. It's I don't know. It's a crazy feeling being out there by yourself.
It is.
And then, like you said, you start seeing there's no wind going on, but everything around you shaking. It's like, what the hell? It is
dude,
weird.
Like, I had to watch it a couple times before I read that it was an earthquake. But I was like, was that just a sudden gust of wind? What the fuck is happening here? It just looked like wind coming through,
But it seems like I said, like a decent place to be, minus a sinkhole or something. But as far as you're just out in that marsh, there's no big waves or anything coming like they do in the ocean. And them things trigger them tsunamis that take out fucking villages and shit, But I think out there it'd probably be where you want to be, opposed to in some damn building with shit falling all over you. But like I said, they can keep them damn things, man. I couldn't imagine, like, we're just sitting here right now, fucking off on the podcast, and all of a sudden your fucking house starts shaking and rattling. You ain't doing nothing. Like, where do you go? Like a tornado, they say, oh, get to the, center of the house or something, go in the bathroom. But where the fuck are you going to go during an earthquake?
nowhere.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, they had that big one that hit in California, man. And like, they got those freeways out there that are on top of each other. And them motherfuckers, boom, just collapse. And it's like, there's nothing you're doing. You just better hope you're in the right spot when it happens. What I mean?
That's it. You just hope you're not under anything when the shit goes off,
You sit in your house, the whole motherfucker's shaking, and you just got to hope nothing falls in on you. I mean, that's all you can really do. At least here, most of the things we deal with down here, we know is coming. We know that hurricanes are coming. Tornadoes, they're not usually big enough to do major damage where we're at. I mean, they rip off some shingles, maybe knock some sheds down and shit.
Usually.
The worst things are the hurricanes, but fuck, dude, they don't stop talking about them motherfuckers 2 weeks before they get here. The news can't get enough of it. So we have plenty of warning. Them tornadoes, and if you live around them volcanoes, man, and people get fucked up with them volcanoes too.
They do too.
Shit like that where you have no warning, man. And fuck, I don't know. That's crazy. But apparently it don't happen enough because people still want to go to Cali, man. And that's one of the worst spots. But they can have it. They can
Yep.
have that. They can have that in their fucking politics. So
Damn straight.
anyway, we're out of here. Visit our merch store. Show the world you're full of BS like we are. We got shirts, hats, fucking cups, slippers. We got stuff for the ladies. We got a little bit of all of it. So y'all check it out.